What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the garage and welcome to another live Thursday show. Yeah, hey, we're here. It's been a busy week, haven't done a lot, but glad to be back. I twisted my ankle mowing the yard today. And oddly enough, I forgot that I ordered wheels for the 72 Corvette and they showed up today. So, I apparently need to get tires and take care of that. Just added to the stacks of projects not getting done right now, right? Like, yeah, this is the one that I broke. Snow, I don't know if you're around back whenever I first started this channel. I started it right after I got done breaking my ankle in 3 places. Literally broke my left foot off. So, gotta be a little bit careful. So, who we got in here? We got Snow, we got Mike, Cole, Schmidt, David, Funny Muffler, Chevy for Life. What's going on, guys? What's new? Anything new this week? Cuddy Garage. DZ, good to see you too. Both of you, if you're both watching. DZ's a package deal. Get 2 viewers out of them. So, as Snow mentioned earlier, I've not posted pictures of... Oh, sorry, brother. It was. Hey, Silver Surfer. Hey, everybody. Silver Surfer's in here, which I'm glad to see. You gotta go check out his videos. He's got a lot of great videos. Specifically, he's been working on a new InTune application. Super cool. Played with it some today. Has a lot of great potential. And then he also has, I read some of his stuff where he talked about shaping the VVE stuff, and he talks about the polynomial math and the shapes of the zones. It's good. It's good stuff if you want to get more in depth. We talk about a lot on here. But he does a good job of actually putting images out there that show you the different zone shapes, the dome, the bowl, things like that, what works, what will break it, stuff like that. So if you have not already, go over and follow Silver Surfer 77, because he's going to be putting out a lot of great content that's going to help you in your tuning journey. We can always use more guys like him that are willing to help the community. So, no, thank you, man. I appreciate it, David. Really do. Like, as I said, I was around wherever Blue Cat was doing the original program, and it's been a big hole that's needed to be filled because the equipment or the software in HP tuners just is not an efficient way of tuning VVE. You learn to work around it. Like, the more time that you spend doing VVE, you learn to recognize stuff and kind of how to shape those things out. But as said, an upcoming iteration of the software that he is working on has the potential to be game-changing, where it can apply changes on its own and basically get the shapes of each zone looking good. I'm excited about it. So it's been a long time since I've been excited about something. So where are we at? What'd I miss as I was talking here? Should predicted engine torque be higher than delivery? Predicted higher than delivered engine torque. The thing is that the request is what you want to be higher than delivered, because if the request is lower, once delivered, exceeds it, it's pulling timing and possibly closing your throttle body. What up, Daniel? Hey, David. 01 Tahoe 60 swap, 290,000 miles, 4L60E, won't do a burnout. Trans just tired of torque management. I mean, David, if you hold down the traction control and turn off traction control and SES, it still won't do it. I need to go in and look at, but there could be a chance that what you're hitting, Schmidt, is a zone boundary where the data is not lining up and is causing the stumble on your VVE. TK, you should probably turn your long-term trims off on everything, because the way that long-term works, they're an average of short-term. So short-term is a spot look at the airflow value on there, and then say if it gets out to a certain error, like say it needs to add 5%, it'll start moving that to long-term until your short-terms get back to 0, and then the long-terms stay in memory whenever you restart up. So whenever you're going through the tuning process, we don't necessarily want that information staying. We want fresh information. We apply it to a histogram, go out, adjust the tune, and then once we flash the tune in, we want nothing. We want back to a base 0. We don't want anything in the background. You can, as I said, I would just turn that thing off. What's your thoughts on the RFID keyless thing I had in the Nova? It was great until I got tired of it. Turned it off and just put a key in. But I will say, Chevy for Life, the main reason I took it out and ended up putting a key in is because I did switches across the top. And I still wanted a way to disconnect the starting circuit. What up, Andrew? Yeah, Schmidt, I need to look at it from that aspect. I've been busy this week, so I haven't really had a chance to dial it all in. David, what transmission are you running? Oh, 4L60, so you can't see input versus output speed, so you don't know how much it's slipping, unfortunately. On the 4L80, you can see the input speed and see exactly if you're getting clutch slip. Could be got a clutch pack getting ready to go out. Yeah, if it's right in the middle of your zone, it shouldn't be much of an issue. But as I said, I just really haven't looked at it that much. But I'll check it out. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to put it in SD. Fail the math, go out, pull log, and see if there's any weird numbers on the histogram right in that area. So, no problem, David. Should probably tune open loop with wideband, especially if you're going into, you have to if you're going into power enrichment. Narrow bands, you can still use them for partial throttle, as long as your narrow bands are dialed in. That's the big thing that people don't understand, is whenever you start doing some adjustments in the exhaust, like headers and stuff like that, your narrow bands don't read accurately, and they need to be tuned. And so, that's why I impress upon people, get a wideband. Like, how's my week been? My week has been good. I've been recovering from my drive of picking up my new toy last Saturday. I flew to Chicago and drove it almost 8 hours back, and it's not a car for doing 8 hours. About 3 is the limit. Chris, don't have any classes going right now. I need to get back into that because I've been wanting to do classes again. But for tuning help, you can always check out the Patreon. We still got that going on. Good afternoon from Vegas. Hey, Matt. Do I have any E85 tuning videos? I may have one that is just kind of like talking about setting up flex fuel, but outside of that, the tuning process is exactly the same. Might need to do one specifically talking about spark on E85, since you have, some alcohol tables that you can go in there and adjust for alcohol content, E85, methanol, wherever you want to call it. So I'll add that to the list. I need to actually get a list here and write these good ideas down as you guys spit them out. Schmidt, I'll try and do a video this weekend for the reveal, and it'll be posted to Patreon and YouTube members first, and then I'll release it to the general public sometime next week. I do have a couple videos in the can waiting to get edited on EFI Live. I had a pretty good intro video that was I shot, and then I realized I had my microphone muted the entire time, so I tried to go back, and it just wasn't as good. But uh, I'm hoping this weekend to bring my bench force up here and hook in. I've got 4 or 5 ECUs sitting on the desk over here, and plug it in and play around with that. Thanks, Rick. I enjoy doing the classes. So I used to do the classes, and I do them basically generation wise. Uh, I think the approach that I'll probably take this time around, maybe I'll set 1 or 2 up in June since I'm not doing a power tour, is I think we'll do, I don't know, you guys tell me, like, I like to do generation classes. That way, if you're on a 3rd gen or a 4th gen or something like that, you can sign up for a class that's specific to your platform. And then about 2 hours is all I can do. Like, 2 hours after that, I get burned. I have a hard time talking, stuff like that. So I don't know if I can get the full thing in 2 hours. So should we split it into like fueling? I don't know. Maybe cover math and spark in one and then VE in another, because, that's really, honestly, and anybody that's gotten into tuning will tell you this. Speed density on 3rd gen's not so much, but 4th gen, 5th gen stuff, speed density takes up maybe 75% of your time. So, man, in-person classes would be great. It'd just be a mess to set up. I've done anything with the 6L transmission. Been trying to do 2nd gear start on my Turbo 14. Okay, so 2nd gear start doesn't work, Mason. I've never gotten it to work. Has anybody gotten 2nd gear start to work on a 6L80? Like, you can go in there and adjust all that stuff and try to take it out second, but in drive, 2nd gear never works. Like, if I have it in tap shift, or whatever, sport mode, I can get to do 2nd gear starts, but I've never been able to get a 2nd gear start to work. Took 15% off injection boundary. Is there a way to tell what that should be? Okay, Mike, you have to get into actually looking at your cam phasing. It's a little bit of a deep topic on the live show, but you need to look at your cam, calculate your degrees, and figure out when it's actually opening and closing your intake valve and stuff like that. So, where it really becomes an issue is if you've got a cam with a bunch of overlap on there, and you're getting too much fuel out the exhaust side. Well, Kamar, keep your eyes peeled. I'll post up. I'll do probably a quick video and announce if I'm going to do some training and stuff like that. And then I'll probably stick with what we did in the past, or the last few classes, where it's just $50 to get a seat, and then it'll be just you'll get an appointment for a Google Meet. And especially now that I've got my drawing tablet, I've got a tablet over here that I can draw on. That's been pretty nice. Aftermarket like Mega Squirt is so easy since models are based independently off SD model. Yeah. 6L90 and it starts in second. Maybe I need to look at why the 6L90 will and the 6L80 won't. I've never been able to get my 6L80. I'd love to hear if somebody's been able to get it to be reliable to start in second whenever it's just in drive. Yes, I do have your tune. I will look at it. Well, and that may make a difference. I was trying it on a Gen 5. So, T43 or whatever. I can't remember TCM numbers off the top of my head. Could never get it in tap shift either. Tap shift, there's a way of doing it easier in tap shift, but I need your help to tune a Holly. Find the nearest trash can. I'm just kidding. What you got going on, Chevy? Did the wholesale 50% feels okay at Lambda 1 smelling rich at idle. Yeah, and so you're probably spraying a little bit too much during overlap. 750 double pumper. I mean, I can't say that because I'm not a carb tuner, but yeah, I think there's a pretty big difference in the TCMs between the two generations. But I don't do enough transmission stuff, man. Like, I hate transmissions. See, that doesn't work on the 5th gen TCM, Andrew. He's talking about lockout first gear with shift points. You can basically zero out the shift points on first gear and it still goes into first gear. At least in auto. Like, no, the Nova's still on a Holly because I haven't touched the Nova since I got it back from Rocky Mountain last year. I put the new wheels on, but I've got to get new tires because one of the tires was bad. Um, I've got stuff I need to do to it. In fact, I've got that new Brodix intake manifold, which is the biggest damn big block intake manifold you've ever seen. My head would almost fit inside of it, if the opening, it's got the 4500. So I need to send it off and get injectors mounted on it. And so I'm kind of like that might be something I start tackling next month. Uh I don't know. I do want to I don't know. There's some stuff like I don't necessarily want to give up on the Holly, but at the same time, if I can't get that thing to start acting right, I definitely don't want to take it on a race again, especially a drag and drive. I had so many fits with it. Like, I'm just not convinced that their wideband controllers are worth anything. So, if I were to go away with it, I'd probably go to Fuel Tech. I really like the Fuel Tech that's on the Typhoon, even though I can't drive Typhoon because transmission's bad on it. Listen, all my projects are in state of disarray, short of the Corvette and the new car, which are not technically projects because I've not done anything. But the Corvette does have a sniper on it, and it seems to be working pretty good, especially since it was tuned through the handheld. So, there's a lot of stuff that could be done on the Corvette with the sniper to make it run better. So, Z01 is going from an M6 to a 4L80. Okay. No, that's all right, Shape for Life. We all been busy. Thank you, Jay Finesse. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for stopping by the live stream. You can tell we're getting close to Memorial Day weekend. The numbers are down. We've only got 32 viewers in tonight, which would not surprise. Everybody's already jetting out for their vacation. Everybody takes Friday off. So, a little laid back. I'm not complaining. Bill says, I've had the pleasure of fixing tunes in OEM, and aftermarket injector data is super critical. Yeah, it really is. Injector data makes or breaks things. And it's not that the injector data, listen, the injector data is not spot on. That's not the thing. But the injector data has to be in the ballpark for it to even get to a point where it can tune correctly. So, I've been thinking about getting an injector tester because I just don't trust injector companies anymore. Do you need to tune with new fuel injectors? Yeah, if they're not the same size as the old ones, you definitely do. Chevy for life. Fuel Tech can control 4L60. I will say though, I would get the 600. I went with the 500 Lite, which is just the 500 without the screen on it, or whatever their number thing is. And I ran out of I/O without being able to control my transmission. But they do have the ability to control the 4L60, 4L80, stuff like that. So, Mike, no, I do not have a video on injector boundary, just because every time I try to sit down and start to do the glide, I'm reading the math, I go dyslexic because it's a lot of calculating cam angles, injector, overlap, seeing the actual degrees on it, since all that table's set up in degrees stuff. Have to tune a Pro Charge Vet 2011. Has 3-bar map sensor. All I see is the OS. Yeah, I mean, the 2-bar OS will put it in a 170 kPa max modified VE. That OS is easier to tune. So if you're not going to run more than that, I would do that. And it doesn't matter if you have a 3-bar. You just update the map sensor settings, and you're just not going to go above whatever 170 is. Now, if it's going to make more boost than that, you're going to have to stick with standard VE tables. The way the virtual VE works, there's technically no limit on how much boost. It has drop downs on the row editor where you 1-bar, 2-bar, 3-bar kind of set, but I mean, you could set those things all the way out to like 6-bar if you wanted to. The math is just math. Like, we look at it as a table, but in the background, the ECU just sees it as math. And so it will compensate for any amount of boost as long as you have everything set up right. Can't remember the name. What up, Joseph Moore? Oh, what a miss. So if I get same size injectors that are on my 300, I will not need a tune because stock injectors are going bad. So I will. Yeah, as long as they're the same size, no, they'll swap directly in. I have a Gen 3 8.1 in a Silverado. How aggressive can I get with DFCO? I mean, do you have cats? If you don't have cats, you can do whatever you want with DFCO. DFCO's, primary purpose is emissions and to not flood the exhaust with fuel. Essentially, whenever you let off the gas, it's just cutting the fuel off. So, which is why we turn it off whenever we're tuning, because we don't want anything external like that causing things to adjust the fuel outside of our control. 18 pounds, you'll be fine on 2-bar. So, you still scale, Chris, you still scale the map sensor and the map sensor settings for the 3-bar. You're just not going to be using the last bar on it. So, and honestly, 2 to 3-bar, you're not losing a lot of resolution. Listen, even the mainstream injector companies, I don't know if I trust. It's not that I don't trust the data. I just want to be able to take injectors, put them in a flow bench, and verify that all of them flow relatively the same. Like, I think that injectors, aftermarket injectors, are probably one of the biggest things that we fight as tuners, because there is so much variability in those, where if you have one that's not flowing right, it's either flowing too high or flowing too low, and it's on the bank that you're monitoring, it can throw the whole tune out of whack, and you're losing power. And you can trust these guys to say that they've flow matched them and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. You have to go through multiple to get all 8 flowing right. And that's what I'm saying is like, I don't know how much I trust these companies that are saying that they're individually flowing and they're flow matching. I would just feel better verifying that they are close. I think you can get them pretty cheap from China nowadays. Yeah, $400. Let's $400 is a lot. That's only for 4. I wonder how much for 8. I mean, with 4 though, you could be perfectly fine, you know, because you're going to set it for like 15 seconds of flow or something like that, 10 seconds of flow, and you're going to have a graduated cylinder that shows you how much they flow in that amount of time. But it'd be nice to be able to do all 8 of them. Right? At the same time, but it's not groundbreaking. You're right, Rick. If I can get them to watch my live show. Yeah, like, so, that's 6. Probably better off just getting 4. They can be had for about $300-400. So, I don't know. Keep your eyes peeled. I'll probably do a video on this soon, because I've got injectors sitting on the table that are getting ready to go into projects, stuff like that. And it'd be a good idea, even if you're, you know, having some issue, to be able to maybe go through and see what's going on. CT160. I don't know any of these models. What's the CT160? Injector cleaner. Let's look it up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. CT160 does 4. Just said $340 on eBay. Here's one that, oh, that's a 150. I mean, they should be close on the flow test, because it's using the same signal to pulse all 4 of them at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. So, like, should I be hoarding stock Chevy injectors? I think there will be plenty of stock injectors to be had. Calibrated success, test bench or nothing. Yeah. I'll leave my opinions on that for another day. Flash from Silverado tuned to Corvette, copying over all my data. I saw a lot of odd numbers and throttle tables when Silverado mostly had zeros. Oh, Jonathan, are you doing a transmission swap? Automatic to manual? Oh, man, missed out on that CT160 for less than $200. FID. I did a project with those injectors not too long ago, and we could not get them to tune. But I don't know if it was the injector or not. Is that fuel injector dynamics or whatever? Fuel injector development. Later, Jerry is dropping. He got roll. Fuel injector development. Well, motion carries them. I'm not saying that because motion carries something that's good by any means, but I wonder if motion is running them on any of their setups. That would be more the question. So, I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on those guys. Yeah, people are showing up late. Like, I don't know. I won't get into it. I'm not bad-mouthing them, other than some of their stuff is absurdly overpriced. And I think Rife sensors are probably a ripoff, but yeah, injector dynamics I think is you're good to go with them. But as I said, I would probably, if I had the ability, it wouldn't matter where I got them for. If I got them from Injector Dynamics, if I got them from Deechworks, it wouldn't matter where I got them from. I would throw them on the test stand and flow them just to make sure. Especially if I was putting them in a controller that had cylinder compensation. And so if one was flowing a little bit lower than the rest, it's not the end of the world. If it's 6% lower than, most of the other ones, I just would know what bank or what cylinder that's going in, and I would go in through the Holley or the Fuel Tech, and I would add 6% to that one. Putting 50-pound flex injectors on my P59 6-liter. Is it really that hard to put data into my tune? Depending on where you get them from, JB, they should have all of the data. You just have to find the tables that match your tune. So you'll get an Excel spreadsheet generally. So you'll open up the flow data tab and they'll have like 3 or 4 different tables in there. Find the ones that has the numbers. A lot of times you may have to change the units on the tune because they might be in grams per second as opposed to pounds per hour or something like that. So make sure that the numbers are in the same units and then find the ones that everything lines up. So Andrew, welcome to the family. Welcome to HP Tuners. Hoping to stumble through eFan swap. Well, good luck. You'll figure it out. There's plenty of information out there. What up, PNW? And I have talked to HP Tuners a couple times since the last time. I said, we're not on the outs by any means. They're still wanting to be a sponsor. But, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to keep doing what I've always done, regardless. So, it's not going to stop me from tuning. Idle, airflow, throttle follower, all the stuff is different between Silverado. No, copy it back over to the Silverado stuff, Jonathan. Essentially, a lot of that stuff's going to be, displacement differences and stuff like that. Also, load's going to be different. You got to think about the load on a motor whenever you're moving a truck versus a car, things like that. So, high performance injectors. I feel like this is not. Oh, well, I actually did pull up a website. I was like, I feel like having something called high performance injectors is just going to return everything. Every website has high performance injectors on their stuff. Professional fuel injector cleaning, restoration, and flow testing services available. Fuel injectors. Oh, okay. So, set of 8 LS3 style EV6 injectors. Wow. 2,500 cc, 225 pounds per hour. That's scary. Let's just look at their 96 pounds per hour. For $350, that's not bad. They come in sets that are matched within 1% static, 2% dynamically. So, yeah, that's good. Ryan Martin's new No Prep Kings car doesn't have an HP Tuners decal? Yeah, it does. What's the car look like? Oh, yeah, no, it does. You just can't see it because it's camouflage. It's on the wing like the old one. No, we're just talking about injectors in general, Ben. Dude, Bill, I hate the Ballinger units. I'm sorry. I hate the Ballinger units. Absolutely hate tuning a car with them. I'll be honest right now, I don't know what I like. I like the AEM 300300s, and then Holly bought AEM. Kind of on the fence on that. But I know I don't like the Ballinger units. I don't know that the analog outputs on the Ballingers are worth a darn. I need to do some kind of... I've not looked into NGK-FX. I need to figure out a way. Was that not just a Ballinger? Oh, this one. Okay. $250. I don't know. I'll look more into it. Yeah, a while back. Holly bought AEM last year. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at this new one. $250 from NGK. Or NTK, NGK, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I may have to check one of those out. Yeah, I don't know about the 4.9s either. Sweet. I'll say it again. If you guys haven't checked out Silver Surfer 77's YouTube, go check it out. Show him the love he deserves. You know what? We'll do a live show. We'll do an interview or something here soon, man. If you're cool with that. If you don't mind being on camera. But Hearst also. Okay. Man, at what point in time are they going to be the automotive monopoly? Here's the thing, though. Like, Holley's, as big as they are, a lot of that is in America. You get outside of America, and there's a lot of amazing companies that are doing things still in the smaller kind of thing. You know, and the big thing, not yet. Wouldn't surprise me if China owns a Porsche. I guess they're privately owned. So, Nate, it's not that listen. It's not that I know so much. It's just that I have an ability to teach. So. And then I've learned just like everybody else. There's 50 people in here. Just learn by doing it, man, and making mistakes and learning from mistakes. That's the biggest thing. Your best bet is if you learn properly. You're going to make mistakes, but your mistakes are small enough that they don't cause any issues. I've blown a motor up, and I went through and told you guys exactly what I did to blow it up. 442 is not coming. 442 is in a state of stasis right now. Just waiting on parts, man. Can't get parts. I need to get back on. Honestly, I've not been in the garage in like 2 months, maybe longer. I've been through it, but I've not done any work in the garage other than I cleaned it. So, it's not that I don't want to work on things. It's just that with all the crap that's been going on this year, I've just not been in the mood. But, yeah, I mean, we'll get back to it. Very excited to start tuning with HP. Glad to join the community. Welcome, David. Glad to have you. Bill says Holley sucks. I'm not impressed with their systems. No, and listen, their systems, especially the Terminator X, for what they were trying to do is a good idea. It is a low-cost standalone system that's easy to retrofit on LS stuff. As I said, I've got issues with some of the things. And honestly, and I've said it 1,000 times, Holley, I will turn around and quit talking crap on you if you just allow me to bring an outside wideband in on an analog channel and tune closed loop off of that as opposed to your internal controller. Your internal controller sucks. It's not good. Yeah, the pile is still behind me. Stop, Snow. Sorry to hear that, Wayne. Sorry to hear that, man. I hope she does better. Well, I mean, Schmidt, did you at least know what you did to blow it up? Yeah, 150 shot, man. I did a 150 shot on the North Star. Bumper up to 200. Issues you may run into? Knock. Just keep an eye on knock. Make sure that you're not getting detonation. Make sure that it's keeping happy on that stuff. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate that, man. That's been the goal from day one, is just get information out there and get people excited to learn how to tune things like that. So that means I've achieved my goal for yet one other person. You know, it's like I tell my wife, if I make a video on a topic and it helps one person, that video has been successful for me. You know. Hollywood never do that, Bill. Hollywood never go anywhere close to open source. Allow you to edit things. Like, that's what kills me. You work on some of these other things, other platforms out there, and there's so much you can do. You know, on the math side and things like that, it's mind-blowing. Good, Wayne. Glad to hear that she's home. So, throttle follower torque. You working on a 5th gen, Jonathan? It's 8:40, so we're going to wrap up. I'm going to try and answer this line of questions here. And we're going to call it a night. Installed a Whipple 2.3 on LQ9, 6 liter with T56 manual trans. Gave the Whipple tune a try. Yeah, they're bad. Yep, and power enrichment comes on 20%. Should I tune and keep the MAF or go SD only? If you got a MAF, if you've got a card style MAF, I would keep it. Got the old style MAF that has the air straightener on it. Listen, SD only is a way of doing it, but if it has a MAF and you can use the MAF, stick with the MAF. Like, you still got to do SD. Don't think that you can get away with MAF only. I'm surprised there's not more blown motors out there because guys are not doing VE tuning or SC tuning and going MAF only. So, but yes, as long as you can keep the MAF, keep the MAF. Because the nice thing about it is with the MAF, if you need to, you can throw a tune on there and get it close enough within like 2 adjustments to drive the car. You can't, don't go into boost, don't hit it and go into transient and stuff like that. But you can at least, get it somewhere if you need to. Just finished MAF tuning my Gen 3 LS based on your videos. Feels like I lost top end power. Adam, that's interesting. I don't know how you would lose power. You sure you just didn't get used to the power as you were going through the tuning steps? It's hard to tell without a baseline. But you should not use power dialing in the tune. Now, doing air-to-fuel tuning isn't necessarily going to make you power. That's not where power is really made on. Unless it's really bad, then yes, it will. But if it wasn't that far off from the get-go, it's not going to make power. How do I know a stock injector size of 300C takes? Elijah, pull the part numbers off one of the injectors. Or go to one of the Chrysler websites where you can put in the make model and find the stock injector part number. Thank you, WS6. Good to see you, man. What we got? Yeah, I've done a little bit of motorcycle tuning. That was on a Max ECU, though. Okay, we'll wrap it up. You guys know the drill. Come back next Thursday. We will talk more. Had a nice string here. I think we've had 6 episodes in a row. We're not going to break it now. We're going to keep on rocking. Everybody, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Thanks as always. Hey, hit that like button before you get out of here. We only got 17 likes out of 40 people. There we go. We got to get 25. Let me see 25. Keep climbing. I'm not leaving. And that's not an excuse for you guys not to hit it. Try and keep me around longer. But if you don't hit that like button, how do I know that you guys like me? I base everything off of there we got it. Listen, I want to thank everybody, as always, for stopping by the garage. Remember, ABT, always be tuning. Where's my end screen?